Donald Trump unleashed. The GOP frontrunner goes after Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail, calling her out calling out her late return from the break during a recent Democratic debate. Listen.
I'm watching the debate, and she disappeared. Where did she go? Where did she go? I thought she quit. I thought she gave up. Where did she go? Where did Hillary go? They had to start the debate without her. Phase 2. Why? I know where she went. It's disgusting. I don't want to talk about it. No, it's too disgusting. Don't say it. It's disgusting. Let's not talk. We want to be very, very straight up.
Donald Trump continues with his blistering attack on Clinton, using a controversial remark to slam her 2008 Democratic primary loss to Barack Obama.
Everything that's been involved in Hillary has been losses. You take a look. Even a race to Obama. She was going to beat Obama. I don't know who'd be worse. I don't know. How does it get worse? But she was going to beat. She was favored to win. And she lost.
Okay, and the Clinton campaign said they weren't going to respond to Trump, but this afternoon, Hillary seemed to take a swipe at the Donald when talking about bullying.
I really do think we need more love and kindness in our country. I think we are not treating each other with the respect and the care that we should show toward each other. And that's why it's important to stand up to bullies wherever they are, and why we shouldn't let anybody bully his way into the presidency.
Ooh, I see what she did there.
What?
Donald Trump's the bully.
What? Explain this to me.
That Hillary thinks Donald's the bully there, so she says, you know, we can't be bullying everybody.
What do you make of that?
Well, not much.
Not much. You don't. No, I'm just interested in what I need somebody to Trump-splain this, because I don't understand it. So can you explain to me what he meant?
Yeah, no, I can't.
When he was talking about the bathroom, what did he mean?
But I think what happens is when Hillary makes something up, as egregious as Donald Trump has now become the recruiting, ISIS's recruiting tool, out of thin air, she made it up.
Right.
What he does is he responds like he does with everyone else. He goes back at whoever the attacker is, and he punches back.
I just wanted to hear you defend this, because I've heard people defend him about making fun of a disability, making fun of John McCain, making fun of a woman's face. I just wanted to hear somebody defend this as well, because it just never ends. No one will ever stop defending the crass stuff he says. By the way, I haven't used that word since I was 7 years old. I don't understand this. And I don't understand the comment about the bathroom. And I'm sick of hearing people defend this stuff. By the way, we're not even allowed to use the word that he said, but somehow we're going to have him on our network all the time. Meanwhile, we treat our employees far differently than that.
That's interesting. Dana, do you agree with Greg?
Well, this is what I think. When I heard Hillary's tone to me is like, you know, if you're going to stick up to a bully, I think your tone should be a little stronger. Because I think what works for her is to fight fire with fire. What she sounded there is like conciliatory. However, I think that does appeal to a lot of people. And that is that she is not running for a primary nomination. She's running in a general election. And we're basically talking about getting this down to probably 7 competitive states. The Democrats pretty much have everything but those 7. 5 of those states, I believe, is 5. Obama won twice. He won women by 10 points. So I think that what she's doing is trying to say, okay, I know that 25% of the electorate in 2016 is single women. And if that's the case, if you can do the math on that, then she's actually appealing to a general election candidate, and she's got all sorts of room to run for several months until the election and to rack up all sorts of women votes.
Well, KG, Hillary Clinton wants to play a lot of here now. She's playing the victim. I'm getting bullied by Donald Trump. Big bad Donald Trump's bullying me. However, she also likes to play the I can handle this. It's my turn. I can handle the big job.
Well, she should use this as an opportunity to turn it into some positive press for herself, to get out there and show a voice that's strong and authoritative and say, listen, I can handle being commander-in-chief. Words like this aren't going to hurt me. You should choose me for the following reasons, because I'm best for this country, and list it all off, what she can do for the economy, et cetera, or try to come up with something. That's where I think she should go with this. To me, that's like turning something like this into a positive that could resonate with her, for her, with women voters and other people alike.
And your thoughts on this one, weigh in on, and remember, Look, Greg doesn't like the fact that it happened the way it went down. But it wasn't.
No, I don't have. No. I don't have a problem with what he says. No, I don't have a problem with what he says, Eric. I have a problem with people here defending it.
Greg,
that's my problem.
Defending Donald Trump. I'm simply saying he was responding to her making up a blatant lie.
You Trump-splain.
I'm not Trump-splaining anything. Here's what happened.
I asked you what he meant, and you explained it.
He was at a campaign rally saying she made something up. She lied about it, and then he went and pointed out the fact that she was coming back late from. Or
you didn't ban that phrase yet?
Either that, Greg, or it's reporting what happened. That's all.
Don't ban that.
That's
one of
not
reporting. Reporting what happened.
That's commenting.
Trump-splaining. Fine, whatever.
Well, I think what's interesting to me, picking up on what Dana and Kimberly said, I thought were really insightful comments. I think Dana's exactly right. If you look at a response from American women, specifically single American women, who are a key demographic in this upcoming election, I don't think they're going to have a good reaction to this and the idea of the big bad bully. And I think Mrs. Clinton, you were saying, well, she should have come out maybe more aggressively. No, I think the low-key tone. And what Kimberly said, again, plays up right. So can she project sufficient strength that say, you know what, I can handle this, don't worry about it? And I think that the low-key tone said, I'm not going to go into hyperbole. I'm not going to match offensive statement for offensive statement. But I'm going to tell you, we shouldn't allow this kind of thing to dominate our political scene. I don't think it was very attractive. I don't understand why Trump even does it at this point.
Well, first of all, do you think the word even made sense?
Well, I think what happens is when you are surrounded by toadies that cheer you on, you're like a comedian, and you like the laughter. So he's very impulsive. Instead of thinking about what he says, he's impulsive, and it makes you wonder, do you want an impulsive leader, or do you want a leader that thinks? I want somebody who can beat Hillary. I don't think an impulsive leader is going to beat Hillary.
This is what I don't understand about it. One of my favorite quotes of the election cycle so far this year was from Matthew Continetti, who writes for the Washington Free Beacon. And a few months ago, he wrote a piece saying, now, conservatives, don't be upset because Hillary Clinton is beatable. And he goes through the reasons that she's beatable. And the last sentence of the column is something I remembered. He said, besides, if it's a race to the bottom, we can win it. And that's what I felt like we heard last night. We're actually having to discuss why he used a verb, a disgusting verb in a thing. The other thing about him is that, so Donald Trump's way out in the lead. We get this. This is the polling. You still have 12% of women who are undecided in the Republican Party. If you are that far in the lead, why take chances all the time? And I think it's because he's not thinking about it. He is just impulsive. But if he really does want to win, you have to do the math on these numbers with women, and you can't do it without
Let me just say it quickly.
Well, don't
Eric,
cut into your own
I
lead
think
either.
it's so interesting
Right,
to
by
me.
saying these
He insults black people. He says black people are the ones that kill all the white people. Obviously wrong. He insults Mexicans, right? Rapists and thieves, right? He insults Muslims, says keep them out, all that. But it's when we come to this women's issue that I think he really is killing himself and the Republican Party.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. New polling numbers show Donald Trump is still at the top of the Republican presidential field at 28%. The Quinnipiac poll shows Ted Cruz following with 24%, Rubio 12%, Carson 10%, and Christie at 6%. But despite leading the GOP, Trump faces problems with the broader electorate. Half of the voters said they would be embarrassed to have him as president. So, Kimberly, let's bring it back this way. Half say they'd be embarrassed. A third say they'd be embarrassed of Hillary Clinton as well. But he still leads.
Right. Well, but listen, you've got to turn. There's still time to move numbers. And you saw from the beginning people that said that they didn't think that he was serious about running. The numbers were very low. Those have changed. He's flipped those numbers for himself. So what you have to see is this is kind of a wake-up call, an opportunity to be able to change your tone and direction with women and to be able to get people to say, listen, you're not the guy I'd be embarrassed about. You'd be the candidate that I would choose, and for these reasons. He's got a lot to work with. He packs places with large crowds, so it's not like he's going to have a difficult time delivering a positive message or reaching an audience. It's already built in and built to last for him because people will show up. So now I think it's the 2016 resolution has got to be to change the tone a little bit, the demeanor, to be able to reach out, because in order to win a general election head to head, you are going to have to draw from a different pool.
And there are ways to do this with Hillary Clinton on the merits, on this issue in particular. So I agree. I thought it was absolutely wrong for her to suggest that any American, especially a presidential candidate, is a recruitment tool for ISIS, because all of us are a recruitment tool for ISIS. ISIS will use any of us at any time. So I definitely thought that was wrong.
Wrong of her,
and then where do you go from there? That was wrong. Where he could have fought her on the merits is on something that I think, one of her Achilles heel that she is not having to pay for yet, and that is Boko Haram. Boko Haram is one of the worst terrorist organizations in the world. They are based in Nigeria. Remember the young girls that were all kidnapped?
Yes, bring back our girls.
A report has come out about all the atrocities that have been linked to Boko Haram. They have now pledged allegiance with ISIS.
Yep.
And Hillary Clinton, for years, as Secretary of State, did not allow them to be put on the World Terrorist List or the Terrorism Watch List, whatever it is. That was her watch, her block. And so I think that there are ways to go after her that are actually on the merits and on the policy that you could actually turn and flip. And if you are wanting to win the deal, if you want to win the presidency, you can use that instead of spending a day talking about how you shouldn't have said something.
Okay, let me say something positive for Donald Trump. In this polling that came out today, 60% of Republicans say they think he is the nominee. They expect him to win this at this point. As we go into this holiday season, as everything tamps down, Donald Trump, among most Republicans, is assumed to be the candidate. What's not good in this, of course, is the number that you mentioned, Eric, people being embarrassed. But I will say this. You know, previously people thought, gee, there's so many people who are uncomfortable with Donald Trump. But he has persisted. He's stayed up high. He's still leading. The big news out of the poll, Ted Cruz. Yeah. Ted Cruz now, I think, 4 points back.
Well, if you add Trump and Cruz, you have 54%. You have more than half the.
But if you take them together, they have the largest gender gap.
But you know what the thing is?
Yes, huge.
What Trump said yesterday was nothing. It wasn't the slang term and the bathroom humor. It's nothing compared to the stuff that he said before. And we have already agreed that we're okay with it. When he said...
Well, I never agree with that.
When we talked about Putin killing Russian journalists, and he said... Americans do the same thing.
That's unbelievable.
That is a left-wing response, purely from the Oliver Stone, Howard Zinn, Noam Chomsky school of when you're justifying terror. When somebody flies planes into our buildings, the response is, well, we bomb people too.
Oh,
he smeared us too. So I don't think this is anything bad. It doesn't bother me at all. It's the stuff before that bothered me.
All right, we'll leave it right there.